My name is Thompson. Our Theater of the Mind will open in a few minutes. It is a combination of magic, hypnotic suggestion, and theater. No mind control at all. To participate on stage, you will need to be able to concentrate and follow stage directions and be able to use your strong, creative imagination. Coming on stage means you understand this and agree to a video release of the show. Now would be a good time to check that your cell phone is turned off. If you are ready for a unique audience participation event, listen closely.
What are time and space but a perception? In a few minutes, you will be able to come on stage, where through the power of your mind, time, space, and even reality will be suspended. You're about to see hypnosis, the magic of your imagination. Please give a big welcome to Master Hypnotist Ray Thompson.
Good morning. Good morning. This is a theater of the mind. My job as a stage director is to cast you in good parts, make you look good. Those of you that come up here will be answering a theater call. Then there'll be an audition. What I do on stage is I alter your perceptions of reality. It's not mind control. You know that stuff you see in the movies, you know, go out, rob a bank, bring me all the money? Doesn't work. I know, I've tried it. Nobody's brought me any money yet. With 5 kids I had put through college, I was tempted. Seriously, if it was mind control, like you see on television and movies, do you think I would be here with you guys at 3 o'clock in the morning? No. Caribbean island, maybe? I might own it, too. But you see that in television and movies. Now, that active, rational part of your mind that's paying attention to me right now and deciding whether you're going to come up or not is always going to know you're seated right here in these plastic chairs. But if you loan me your imagination, and I can alter your perception of reality well enough, you're going to be on an all-expense first-class trip for a class trip to the Hawaiian Islands. Now, I don't like the way most people do hip shows with it's what I can do to you. This way there's a theme. There's a rationale for it. What do I mean by altering your perception of reality? Your perception of these 3 rows might be 30-inch, slightly dirty white cotton, non-elastic. I'm serious. Non-elastic. Just a little zero. Yeah. The other one too. Yeah. Okay. But is that reality or is that your perception of reality? Whoa! You know? Thank you. You'd be surprised, even with adult groups, how long I have to stand here like this till they get the idea of something. I don't take myself too seriously. But think about this. If reality was not 3 equal ropes, what makes you think reality is this? You know? I'll let you worry about that as you try to go to sleep later on today. Now, I've got 12 chairs. I'm going to invite about 24, hang on, about 24 of you to come up here. We had a few more chairs, but the stage is a little small, and many more than that, it gets a little hard on me to pay attention to everybody for your safety.
24 is twice as many chairs, so I'm going to have somebody who's seated on the floor. We'll do an induction so that you can see what it feels like, how much fun, how good it is. And then we'll have an audition. The people that do best at this are very creative-minded, intelligent people. Theater folks are really good. You're used to using your imagination. Others sometimes are too used to controlling theirs. Now, can everybody be hypnotized? Yes. However, it's a big E from very difficult to very easy. People who analyze everything, have trouble going to sleep at night because they keep thinking, it's a little harder for them, particularly in this circumstance. There's people who will come up here with the best intention, sit down, look out there and go, oh my God, they're looking at me. Duh, it's a stage. They're not paying any more attention to me. There's others, not very often, that focus so well, they go so deep, they're right out there in la la land. They're having a ball in there, but it's not much fun for you. So, what I'm looking for are the 12 best performers who follow my directions. I'm the stage director. Okay? Warm you up. Put your right hand up in the air. Spread your fingers wide. Now, if you would, make a nice big L. You love what you've been doing tonight already? Hey, by the way, put your hands down. Your parents in this school has spent a lot of money and a lot of effort, and some of them a lot of lost sleep to put this on for you. Just in case some of you forget to say thank you, why don't you give them a big round of applause right now? They deserve it. I've been on that side too. Okay, back here. Big L for them. You love them. Now, touch the thumb and forefinger together, make a circle or an A-OK sign, some people say. Look at yours, make sure it's nice. There's a lot of camera phones around, you know. Now, look back up here at mine. And if you would, please, place yours right here on your chin. Don't move your hands. See, look around and see how many people don't know where their chins are. Obviously, I expected most of you to do this. I learned that as just a little warm-up exercise for a group. But I got to thinking about it, and I did a little research, Google. Came across some research that showed 73% of any given audience is made up of people who are primarily visual learners. You're the ones that did this, even though that's not what I said to do. Then about 24% of you are the auditory learners. You did this and looked around at all these others learning, what in the world is wrong with them? Then there's about 7 to 9% that they don't do anything. They're the kinesthetic. It didn't feel right, so they didn't do it. Though I suspect there's a small percentage in there that just don't follow directions. But we're going to use all that up here. Now let's test, that's for following directions. Let's see how your imaginations are. Follow along with this, and then I'll explain how it works afterwards, and you can have some fun with it. Put your hands together like this. Keep your palms touching. Now put your forefingers straight up in the air and keep separating, but keep your palms together until you have them separated by maybe 1/4 of an inch. Now look at yours, don't look at anybody else's. It won't work if you do that. Look at yours and imagine a rubber band around the tips, pulling those tips together. Try to see the color of the rubber band, but more importantly, feel it. Feel it, pulling those fingers together. The stronger your mind, the stronger that rubber band. The stronger it pulls your fingers together. Closer and closer, closer and closer, closer and closer until they touch and they begin to lock down, locking down. So tight, it's almost like they're super glued together. So tight that on the count of 3 you can try to pull the tips apart, but the tips don't want to come apart. 1, 2, 3, tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter till I clap my hands and they come easily apart. Now, I got to tell you something, sir. That's not 1/4 of an inch. I don't care what you tell your fishing buddies. It's a trick. It's a trick. A physiological trick. people say, Ray, if it's not mind control, how do you get people to do those silly things on stage? I ask them. And if you notice, I usually say, please. I'm a good Southern boy. I got manners. If you do this, no, it's not test time and you're praying for a pass because you didn't study. If you keep your palms together, it's hard to extend those four fingers. You're fighting the way the muscles and tendons are attached to the bone. And if you only have them maybe a quarter of an inch apart, and I can divert your attention for a moment talking about that rubber band, those tendons start pulling it back together. Now, when it locks down for you, that's your imagination. You've loaned me your imagination. I can create some really neat moment with a younger brother or sister with us, trust me. Not to mention mom or dad. You're the one I most want up here because you can loan me your imaginations. Now, why don't we start? I learned a long time ago after getting knocked off the stage, I let you volunteer, but I kind of control it for my own safety and yours. And since we have a junior-senior evolution, right? Why don't we start with seniors, since this is our last crack. The juniors will get a chance at this next year. And as I said, I'm from the deep south, so let's have some senior ladies up here first. Come on up, ladies. Grab a chair. Let's go to Hawaii. Nephew, juniors?
I want to go back to
junior ladies.
Russia and get to Hawaii. I want to be with all the Connies and Mahinis that I used to know.
Well, put the guys on the floor. If you're really smart, you're going to sit at woman's feet the rest of your life anyway.
Now, I can hear the old Hawaiian
Senior males.
It won't be long till my ship will be sailing back to Kona.
Just sit right down there in front of the lake.
It's a brand new place. There's always there to see. I'm just a little Hawaiian and a homesick Alabama. I want to go back to my fishing.
Audience members, for those of you not familiar with theater, you have a very important role here tonight, and that's to give them feedback. So why don't you start right now by giving a big round of applause for coming up here for you. Now, the more applause you give them, the more energy they're going to have and the more they're going to get back to you. As the director, I have to keep my back to you a lot, but my wife says that's one of my better features anyway. The only thing I ask is that you can talk, make plenty of noise in a little bit. Just don't call out anybody's first name. That's a little too private, okay? I used to say the dullest part of the show is coming up for the next 2 minutes until somebody told me one night, not when you know the people up there, it's not. So keep a sharp eye. See if you can detect when somebody's actually beginning to go under. My guest on stage. And you are my guest, and as guest you'll be treated. Nobody barks like a dog, clucks like a chicken. Never figured out what was funny about that. Those of you that passed the audition will be playing parts of a group of one, an all-expense first-class trip to Hawaii. All things will be done in that context. I'll be your tour guide. Now, one-on-one, everybody can go into trance. One method doesn't work, we can switch, we can talk, we can get real friendly. We don't have time for that. I do a generic induction. So if it doesn't work for you here tonight, it just means it didn't work here tonight. It can work again tomorrow night, much less in a hypnotherapy clinic. Okay? Now, everybody's comfortable as you can be. We're not on a high stage, but still I don't want you getting up and walking off alone. So once your eyes go closed, please do not open them again until I ask you to. And don't excuse yourself and get up and leave the stage just because you think you may not be under. Let me make that decision. Now, having said that, if at any time during the show you decide you don't want to play anymore, that's fine. Just open your eyes, stare at me, and as soon as I'm sure that you're fully alert and you're not going to disturb the person next to you who may be leaning on you, I'll get you back to the audience. Does that sound fair enough? Okay, very good. Now, if you've ever seen a show, a lot of hypnotists, most of them use a spinning light, flashing light of some kind. I broke mine years ago, and I do too many outdoor shows. I discovered you can't see them out there anyway. And this is nothing magical. It's just there for you to have an eye fixation point so you're not being disturbed by any movement out in the audience. So use the tip of my nose. As long as your eyes are open, point right here at the tip of my nose. This also allows me to see who's following directions. And what have you got to say for yourself? Have you got an excuse?
There's alligators in the road.
That'll do it. Young lady, what have you got to say?
My goat was in labor.
And your excuse?
A turtle was chasing me.
What was chasing?
A turtle.
Fast turtle. And your story?
My dog wanted some pineapple really bad.
What have you got to say, man?
A fish bit my toe, so I had to press really hard, and I was just going fast, so I mean, nothing I could really do.
I've never heard that one before. What have you got to say?
Heel got stuck in the pedal.
Hey, big guy, what's your excuse?
My leg broke a long time ago. I can't feel anything.
Hey, girl, what's your story?
I have explosive diarrhea.
We'll get you somewhere real quick. And your story?
I like to go fast.
Hey, Blondie, what you got to say?
Very good looking fella.
I like the cut of her jib. And your story?
I guess I just like to break the law.
And what have you got to say for yourself?
I needed more adult diapers.
There's two I haven't heard before. Hey, there's several of those he likes and he's going to use them and he can't let one of you go without letting all of you go, so it's a freebie for you. And look where he stopped you, right here at the entrance to our luxury resort hotel. On the count of 3, find yourself seated on the beach being waited on hand and foot. 1, 2, 3. Drinks for you. Just take them, they're free. Yeah. I don't want anybody getting sunburned. I've got Thompson for you here. Hold out your hands. Hold out your hands. I don't want you feel the feeling. You rub it all in. Yeah. $100 an ounce and I paid for it. Yeah, just rub it all in. Rub that all in there. Oh, and here they, help me out with this. Here they come with a traditional Hawaiian greeting. Lays for everybody. The bodybuilders bringing them to the girls. Look at those abs on those guys. Wow. And I love those string bikinis on the girls, guys. Look at, oh. Smell those orchids. Those orchids and those ladies smell so good. Yes, they do. Oh, goodness. Obviously, I've had a little more experience. I'm a little faster, but that's okay. Yeah. Oh, love those bodybuilders. Wow. Those abs there. On the count of three, the individual whose shoulder I'm tapping right now will open her eyes, stand up, and be introduced to George the lifeguard, one of the finalists in the Mr. Hawaii contest this year, and be so excited to be here she just can't say her first name. It just doesn't come out. The harder she tries, the more difficult it is. That first name just won't come out, silly as that may sound. 1, 2, 3. Hey, George, I want you to meet my friend from Iowa. I didn't get everybody's name. What's your first name? My name's Ray Thompson, and first name's Ray, of course, and you are? This is your first time in Hawaii? Yeah? My goodness. My name's Ray, and you are?
What's your name?
We'll get name tags for everybody in just a moment. See, I can't be everywhere at once, and I said, everything's free while I'm here. Could I give you some money to pay for things when, kind of take charge for me? Cool. I got to give you a little test. Is that all right? The parent group says I got to do that. On the count of three, she's going to be able to say her first name just fine, but the number 6 is temporarily totally gone. 1, 2, 3. Oh, by the way, my name's Ray, and you are?
Katie.
Hi there. Hey, that little test. They didn't say how hard it had to be, so I'm going to take her at her word. 2 plus 2?
4.
And 4 plus 4?
8.
Oh, you're doing wonderful. Maybe we ought to do one more. Oh, I don't know, something like, 3 plus 3?
7.
Must be that new math that you're talking about. Hey, I'll just count out loud. You count, that's it. Yeah, that's a digital calculator.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 fingers.
Genetic abnormality? Does that run in your family?
No.
Really?
No.
Count them again. You do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And why don't you just sit down there and work on it for a couple of moments? All the rest of you, you can't lay it on the beach without having, we don't have ants bothering us here like back in Iowa, but we do have sand crabs. Nobody gets out of their chair, nobody slides their chair, but that sand crab just bit you on a very tender spot. 1, 2, 3. No, it wasn't a sand crab. It was that person sitting next to you there. And now it's gone. It's gone. I'm just teasing. It wasn't that. But look at those little sand crabs running across the sand there. Aren't they cute? Aren't they cute? Hey, gang. Everybody's cool? Everything's cool? It's time to win some money. It's time to win some money. No, we can't do a wet t-shirt contest. I'm sorry. We got in trouble last year for that. Yeah, I know. But so we're going to have a lollipop licking contest for $200, gang. The one who finishes the first gets $200. Now, rules are you can't start till I say go, and no biting. That's disqualified. On the count of 3, in your hand is your favorite flavored lollipop. 1, 2, 3. On your mark, get set, go! them go. Oh, that's still too big. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. I think they're absolutely incredible volleyball users. Just cannot believe how good they are. Wow. All right, hold them out there for the judges. Hold them out for the judges. You know something? They cannot make up their mind. So they're going to call it a tie for you and give everybody $200. All right, just throw those over behind. We'll pick them up later. We have a crew for that. We have a crew for that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. On the count of three, everybody's going to open their eyes, still deep in trance. But as you do, become aware of a smell. It's kind of a bad smell. No, hoglocks haven't come to Hawaii. Not yet. Somebody passed a little gas. Too many taquitos aboard that airplane. Our chairs were stuck in the... You got that count yet?
It's still 11.
Huh?
It's still have 11.
Well, I tell you what, on the count of three as you count that, make that count, that number's going to come out clear to you, clear as it can be, but it seems perfectly normal to you, but the number you're going to say is Osceola, but it sounds just like that number to you. 1, 2, 3. And you got the hang of it now? Go ahead and count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Osceola, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And 3 plus 3?
Osceola.
Absolutely, you got the job, girl. Here's some cash for you. And on the count of 3, you're going to smell that bad smell, but you're going to stay in your chairs, and you're certainly not going to keep your hands off the person next to you. 1, 2, 3. What is that?
Gross.
Yeah. My goodness. Yeah, it amazes me even with adults. There's those that find it gross. There's some that think it's a job well done. They should get an applause. Hey, what is that smell, girl?
Oh, it's so terrible.
You smelled that before?
What is that?
Yeah. Oh, have you smelled that before?
No.
Oh, what is it now? Ali! Oh. I tell you what, on the count of 3, the smell's gone. 1, 2, 3. Hey, gang, I'm sorry, it wasn't one of you. It was some of those little boys walking behind us there a while ago. It really was, yeah. Hey, you ready to win some more money? Gonna win some more money? I'll tell you what. I have entered you in the All-Island Bodybuilders Contest. On the count of 3, male and female division, and you are in the finals. So, if you will, let's have the gentlemen stand up first, show us their best good pose. 1, 2, 3. Everybody stand up. Let's see what you got, man. All right. Step back. Everybody step back. Except for the second gentleman. Yeah. Number 3. Number 4. Now step back. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Oh, wow. Have a seat, gentlemen. Ladies, stand up. seat, have a seat. The judges are comparing notes, and while they do, I want everybody here to take a nice deep breath and sweet. To a thunderous round of appreciation from the audience. Hey gang, I know you didn't come here to just lay around on the beach and soak up sun, as much fun as that is. I have enrolled everybody in surfing lessons. Each one of you in a different unit so that there's no embarrassment. So, as soon as your nap is over with, and now you're off to surfing school. On the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. Stand up, take your boards, and show us why you graduated number 1 in your unit. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates of the surfing school, right here. Let's see what they can do. Take your seats yet? I've got great news. I didn't want to let you know this until I was sure I could pull it off. I've got the top hula instructor in the entire Pacific Rim. They just won the coaching contest. I think it's gone to their heads, so be sure you follow the directions well, okay? She's gotten kind of a big head about it, so be sure you follow her directions, huh? 1, 2, 3.
If you want to dance the hula like the ladies do the Waikiki, you ought to learn the words to hula. If you want to do the perfectly,
Oh, yeah.
use your hands to describe the scene, to explain the words about the law. Like the ship on the ocean, you set yourself in motion, the rest of the law, naturally. But before you dance the hula, it is wise to do without your shoe. And at the grass skirt all around you, that's the one that you should never lose. Now that everything is on to stand, you bend your knees and up the air. With a smile, really,
Yeah.
the feeling that the rest of you will be revealing. And you have learned to do the hula hula. But before you dance the hula, it is wise to do without your shoe. And at the grass skirt all around you, that's the one that you should never lose. Now everything is on to stand, you bend your knees and up me, oh yeah. Let a smile release the feeling that the rest of you will be revealing. And you have learned to do it.
Yeah! All right. That's some hula instructor. All right. Everybody have a Wow, this is absolutely amazing. Everybody having a good time? Enjoyed it? Yeah. What do you think about that hula dancers?
I really loved it.
Yeah. Who are you going to show this to first when you get home?
My cat.
Are you going to teach it to the cat?
Yeah.
Yeah? But tell you what, show us how you're going to teach cat right now. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. What are you going to say to the cat?
I'm going to tell him to hula.
Now, do you just speak English to the cat, or do you speak cat language?
No.
No what?
No cats.
Yeah? On the count of 3, she's going to find she really does. 1, 2, 3. What would you tell the cat to in their own language? Really? And they do what you say? Okay. That ought to work, huh? Yeah. All right. Well, have a seat there. Never know where we're going to go with these things. Yeah. Hey, you guys want to have some more fun? I mean, everybody been treated okay? What's so funny, dude?
I didn't know a cat can learn to hula.
Yeah. Sweet. On the count of 3, he's going to get down there and try to teach the sand crabs how to hula, get them all together. 1, 2, 3. Eyes open. Teach him to laugh at cats. On the count of 3, he's going to realize what he's really doing. 1, 2, 3. Do you see his eyeballs falling? On the count of 3, the 2 individuals shoulder up tapping right now are going to open your eyes and stand up as the resort's #1 fire dancers. You're going to show there's something a lot faster dancing than a hula. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, our fire dancers, let's see what they can do. Get those hips a-shaking. Oh, yeah. Are they good? Are they really good? Let's let them do it again then. Faster, faster, yeah, faster. Let those hips go, let those hips go, let those hips go. Oh, yeah. What have you all got to say to that? All right, gentlemen, have a seat there. I think some of them might have been to the South Pacific at least, or seen the movies or something. Hey, they did some really good dancing. You did some good hula dancing. But I bet you guys like some of the hip hop and some of the other stuff a lot better, don't you? More intaking, you know? Well, I tell you what, the resort has got another contest for another cash award. This time it's $500. Okay? Everybody stand up and spread out that way. Spread out that way so our gentlemen down here have a little space. For $500, let's see how well you and Bruno Mars can get along. judges are going to have a hard time with this one too. You guys take your seats, while we're waiting on those judges. Is that me? Oh. You'll never believe what came up on my phone. A YouTube. I could never make this up. President Obama on YouTube dancing. Not to that, but something very similar. I'm dead serious. Huh. Hey, you guys comfortable? Sleep? Take a nice big, watch my hand, watch my hand, watch my hand. You feeling good? You're going to feel even better? That has nothing to do with it. I just like to watch their heads go. I'm like, sleep. Parents, I can teach you how to do that for a very small fee, very reasonable fee. Show your appreciation. They're doing a great job for you guys. They're marvelous. I had a parent one time get a little upset with me because I didn't do a lot of individual things, having people say stuff. I said, you really want me to ask a teenager a question while they're under hypnosis in public? Yeah, right. I don't do too much of that. So let's go back to doing something a little group fun. You know, I was walking down, my guest on stage, I was walking down the beach, and I came across the darndest little souvenir store stand there. Seems this lady left New Orleans after Katrina, and she wanted someplace wet but warm, not as wet as New Orleans was. And she came to Honolulu. She had one of those little shops down there in the French Quarter where they sold love potions and incense and those little dolls that voodoo doll things you could stick pins in and such. She had one of these monkeys left. On the count of 3, my guest on stage will open your eyes, sit up, and everything my monkey does, you do. On 3. 1, 2, 3. It always amazes me when it works. Send them way down deep, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, they're working hard up here. We're getting very close to the end of the show. Not quite. But before we do, I had a bunch of these made up a few years ago for fairs and stuff. And I have a few left. I thought I might let somebody have a little fun with them. I'm going to let you, by a show of applause, pick your star of the show. They get this. A lot of people don't do this anymore. I don't know why, because I think it's pretty funny. It's called post-hypnotic suggestions. Hypnotherapists use it all the time to reinforce whatever you're working on. Keep in mind, most of the things we hear about with hypnotherapy has to do with stopping bad habits like smoking and things like that. But it's even more powerful for sports, for things you want to do. And it helps with academics. I used to do a lot of college counseling and helping with test anxiety and all kinds of things like that, memory recall. It was really quite good. A friend of mine uses the color red. Tells them while under trance, every time you see the color red t-shirt, red stoplight, red lipstick, it'll reinforce whatever they're working on. We're going to use a verbal command. Give you all another cheap laugh. The individual whose shoulder I'm tapping right now, every time I say hypnosis, each and every time I say hypnosis, you're going to realize that your head is on backwards and you're going to turn it around. The individual whose shoulder I'm tapping right now, when you go to pick up your sneaker, you're going to find that it's stuck to the stage floor, absolutely stuck to the floor, like it's been glued there. No matter what you try, it won't come up until you hear me say super glue. When I say super glue, it comes up very easily. The individual here whose shoulder I'm tapping, you're going to find that your thongs are always on the wrong feet. They're always on the wrong feet. Who haven't I picked on? He's too easy. The big guy here, he's going to find that he's stuck to that chair and the chair's stuck to the floor. He can't move the chair, he can't get out of that chair until I release him. That's going to be funnier than you think. Oh, why not? I'm from Texas, we ride a good horse. The individual whose shoulder I'm touching right here, every time I say Pepsi-Cola, but only when I say Pepsi-Cola, you're going to jump up and yell at the top of your lungs, I wet my pants and I'm proud of it. This young lady right here, no, sleep. I may regret this. This young lady right here, every time you hear me say hypnotist, hypnosis, or anything like that, you're going to demand to know when's the show going to start, because you're the one person that doesn't remember anything about the show, and every time you hear it, you're going to be just a little bit more upset with me. Every time you hear the word hypnosis, hypnotist, or hypnotizing, or anything like that. This individual right here, and this individual right here. Every time I say Des Moines, each and every time I say Des Moines, you're going to jump up and yell at the top of your lungs, shut up, Baldy! And this young lady right here is going to be very perturbed by that. She's going to stand up, shake her finger, and say, "Naughty, naughty, putty tat." On the count of 5, everybody is wide awake, feeling incredibly good, with no embarrassment for anything that happened on stage. After all, you were actors in the theater of the mind, knowing that none of my silly suggestions can leave this stage. If I can take you into hypnosis, I can certainly take you out of it. On the count of 5, fully alert, feeling incredibly good. That good feeling you can take with you. 1, feeling so good. 2, full of energy. 3, 4, and take a nice deep breath to a thunderous round of applause for a job well done. 5. They worked hard for you guys. A hypnosis show is always a lot of fun. But
When are we starting?
I'm sorry, what was that?
When are we starting?
When are we starting what?
This!
The hypnosis show?
Yeah, when are we starting? Just answer my question.
I'll get back to you in just a moment.
Stop me.
Yeah, I'll get back to you in just we need to clean up the stage before we leave. Oh, well, no problem. I think she'll get that figured out as she leaves the stage, because she can't take it with her. But what's the matter?
Did you do something to my shoe?
Me? Wow, that's the power of hypnosis and the imagination people have.
What?
What?
Why aren't we starting yet?
The show's over, dude.
No! What did I miss? No!
I'll get back with you. Just what's the problem?
It's stuck.
Are you sure?
You try it.
No. You think somebody put super glue?
Yeah, I think it was him.
He would do that?
Yeah.
Let's try it again. It can't be super glued. See, I told you. Yeah. See? Well, I am so thirsty. You know, that water doesn't hack it. I'd really like to have a Pepsi Cola.
A little piece of brown
It's just amazing. I just can't believe it. I got to get started back towards Des Moines here pretty soon. And what seems to be the problem?
My shoes are all wrong.
They look perfectly all right to me.
Really?
Yeah.
No!
What?
No.
Oh, she's just hypnotized, that's all.
No!
Okay, we got to get this shoes picked up, everything ready to go so I can get back to Des Moines.
Shut up, Goldie.
Hey, come here, I need your help. Come here. Okay, big guy, what are you up to?
I don't even know.
What are you talking about?
I can't help you, man. I'm stuck here, dude.
Well, I snap my fingers, he gets a little tiny tickle in a very sensitive spot. The second one releases help. Oh, we did say that whoever the audience picked among all our wonderful stars up here as the star of the show gets one of my shirts. I thought it was going to be you, but it was you. They decided that. They decided that. Now, are you going to get me a Pepsi Cola or not?
Well, my pants are proud of it.
You think they're totally awake? They are. But watch. My guests on stage, as I drop my hand, you are completely released from every suggestion I've made except how good you feel. That is the only suggestion you can take off this stage. On the count of 3, as I drop my hand, you're totally released from all of my suggestions, fully alert, fully awake, in charge of everything mentally, physically, and emotionally. 1, 2, and remembering everything you said and did in living color. 3!
Sleep on my shoulder. Lay your head down and start.
To all the graduates, my congratulations. The fun will start now. My name's Ray Thompson. Come here, please. Have fun. Enjoy the night. Bye-bye. You are the stars of the show, every one of you. I think breakfast is about to be served. Am I correct?
And lay your head down. The stars, they have whispered. Hear what they say and know that it means the most.
My name is Ray Thompson. Our theater of the mind will open in a few minutes. It is a combination of magic, hypnotic suggestion, and theater. No mind control at all. To participate on stage, you will need to be able to concentrate and follow stage directions and be able to use your strong, creative imagination. Coming on stage means you understand this and agree to a video release of the show. Now would be a good time to check that your cell phone is turned off. If you are ready for a unique audience participation event, listen closely.
What are time and space but a perception? In a few minutes, you will be able to come on stage, where through the power of your mind, time, space, and even reality will be suspended. You're about to see hypnosis, the magic of your imagination. Please give a big welcome to Master Hypnotist Ray Thompson.
Good morning. Good morning. This is a theater of the mind. My job as a stage director is to cast you in good parts, make you look good. Those of you that come up here will be answering a theater call. Then there'll be an audition. What I do on stage is I alter your perceptions of reality. It's not mind control. You know, that stuff you see in the movies, you know, go out, rob a bank, bring me all the money. Doesn't work. I know, I've tried it. Nobody's brought me any money yet. With 5 kids I had put through college, I was tempted. Seriously, if it was mind control, like you see on television and movies, do you think I would be here with you guys at 3 o'clock in the morning? No. Caribbean island, maybe? I might own it, too. But you see that on television and movies. Now, that active, rational part of your mind that's paying attention to me right now and deciding whether you're going to come up or not is always going to know you're seated right here in these plastic chairs. But if you loan me your imagination, and I can alter your perception of reality well enough, you're going to be on an all-expense first-class trip for a class trip to the Hawaiian Islands. Now, I don't like the way most people do hip shows where it's what I can do to you. This way there's a theme. There's a rationale for it. What do I mean by altering your perception of reality? Your perception of these 3 rows might be 30-inch, slightly dirty white cotton, non-elastic. I'm serious. Non-elastic. Just a little jerk. Yeah. The other one too. Yeah. Okay. But is that reality or is that your perception of reality? Whoa! You know? Thank you. You'd be surprised, even with adult groups, how long I have to stand here like this till they get the idea of something. I don't take myself too seriously. But think about this. If reality was not 3 equal ropes, what makes you think reality is this? You know? I'll let you worry about that as you try to go to sleep later on today. Now, I've got 12 chairs. I'm going to invite about 24, hang on, about 24 of you to come up here. We had a few more chairs, but the stage is a little small, and many more than that, it gets a little hard on me to pay attention to everybody for your safety. 24 is twice as many chairs, so I'm going to have some of you seated on the floor. We'll do an induction so that you can see what it feels like, how much fun, how good it is. And then we'll have an audition. The people that do best at this are very creative-minded, intelligent people. Theater folks are really good. You're used to using your imagination. Others sometimes are too used to controlling theirs. Now, can everybody be hypnotized? Yes. However, it's a big lead from very difficult to very easy. People who analyze everything, have trouble going to sleep at night because they keep thinking, it's a little harder for them, particularly in this circumstance. There's people who will come up here with the best intention, sit down, look out there and go, oh my God, they're looking at me. Duh, it's a stage. They're not paying any more attention to me. There's others, not very often, that focus so well, they go so deep, they're right out there in la la land. They're having a ball in there, but it's not much fun for you. So, what I'm looking for are the 12 best performers who follow my directions. I'm the stage director. Okay? Warm you up. Put your right hand up in the air. Spread your fingers wide. Now, if you would, make a nice big L. You love what you've been doing tonight already? Hey, by the way, put your hands down. Your parents in this school has spent a lot of money and a lot of effort, and some of them a lot of lost sleep to put this on for you. Just in case some of you forget to say thank you, why don't you give them a big round of applause right now? They deserve it. I've been on that side too. Okay, back here. Big L for them, you love them. Now, touch the thumb and forefinger together, make a circle or an A-OK sign, some people say. Look at yours, make sure it's nice. There's a lot of camera phones around, you know. Now, look back up here at mine. And if you would, please, place yours right here on your chin. Don't move your hands. Look around and see how many people don't know where their chins are. Obviously, I expected most of you to do this. I learned that it's just a little warm-up exercise for a group. But I got to thinking about it, and I did a little research, Google. Came across some research that showed 73% of any given audience is made up of people who are primarily visual learners. You're the ones that did this, even though that's not what I said to do. Then about 24% of you are the auditory learners. You did this and looked around at all these others learning, what in the world is wrong with them? Then there's about 7 to 9% that they don't do anything. They're the kinesthetic. It didn't feel right, so they didn't do it. Though I suspect there's a small percentage in there that just don't follow directions. But we're going to use all that up here. Now let's test, that's for following directions. Let's see how your imaginations are. Follow along with this, and then I'll explain how it works afterwards, and you can have some fun with it. Put your hands together like this. Keep your palms touching. Now put your forefingers straight up in the air and keep separating, but keep your palms together until you have them separated by maybe 1/4 of an inch. Now look at yours, don't look at anybody else's. It won't work if you do that. Look at yours and imagine a rubber band around the tips, pulling those tips together. Try to see the color of the rubber band, but more importantly, feel it. Feel it, pulling those fingers together. The stronger your mind, the stronger that rubber band. The stronger it pulls your fingers together. Closer and closer, closer and closer, closer and closer until they touch and they begin to lock down, locking down. So tight it's almost like they're super glued together. So tight that on the count of 3 you can try to pull the tips apart, but the tips don't want to come apart. 1, 2, 3, tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter till I clap my hands and they come easily apart. Now, I got to tell you something, sir. That's not 1/4 of an inch. I don't care what you tell your fishing buddies. It's a trick. It's a trick. A physiological trick. People say, Ray, if it's not mind control, how do you get people to do those silly things on stage? I ask them. And if you notice, I usually say, please. I'm a good Southern boy. I got manners. If you do this, no, it's not test time and you're praying for a pass because you didn't study. If you keep your palms together, it's hard to extend those forefingers. You're fighting the way the muscles and tendons are attached to the bone. And if you only have them maybe 1/4 of an inch apart, and I can divert your attention for a moment talking about that rubber band, those tendons start pulling it back together. Now, when it locks down for you, that's your imagination. You've loaned me your imagination. I can create some really neat moment for the younger brother or sister with this, trust me. Not to mention mom or dad. You're the one I most want up here, because you can loan me your imaginations. Now, why don't we start